Hello partners, this is Carrie here, and this is a quick video to walk you through the new data collection form that we are rolling out this month. In this video, I'm going to cover the step-by-step process for entering data into the new form. The good news is that this is all the same data you've been reporting each month. It's just in a different format, and how you submit is a little different. I will have set help desk hours over the next 2 weeks where you can call me with any questions that you have, and if you're having any trouble, we can walk through in real time and hopefully solve the issues. But let's get right to it. Let's start by how you actually access the new form. The link to the new form will be in the ordering email that Rick sends as usual on the first of the month. Just like before, you'll have a link to click on. The good news is you only have one link to click on now. There's no longer two forms. It's all consolidated into one form. So you'll get an email from Rick. It'll look a little something like this, probably a little bit different, but you'll see the link for the data at the bottom. You're going to go ahead and click on that link. This will take you to a new website, the data entry website. And once you're on this site, you will see some friendly reminders about when the data are due, always on the 15th. But most importantly, when you scroll down, you will see individual links for your organization. What you're going to do is scroll down and find your organization, and I'm just going to pick somebody here to use as the guinea pig for this demonstration. Go ahead and use Fairfax County Public Schools. Once you click on that link, you will be brought to the brand new monthly report queue. You'll see it's empty now, but month over month, as you enter data and you do your monthly reports, this queue will fill with each of your reports. And what that means is that you can go back at any time using the link that you have to go back and look at your data. That's something I know you haven't been able to do before, so I'm hoping that that is a feature that you guys like. But when it's time to start a new report, you're going to go ahead to the upper right of the screen and click on the button that says New Report. This will bring up the actual data entry form. And the very first thing you need to do is make sure you select the correct reporting period. And as you know, it's always the previous month that you're reporting for. So you're going to go to the drop-down menu and click. In this case, for the first time you do it, you are going to be reporting September data. So make sure you select 9/2018. Now, the next step is actually a little different. For those months and previous months where you haven't done any distribution and you have no data to report, we still need you to come into the form and click this box here. This lets us know that you didn't actually do any distribution, you have no data, and that just tells us rather than you didn't submit, we know that you just didn't have any data to submit. So go in there even if you don't have any data and just let us know. Next up, just like before, we need your contact information. So the name of the person that is filling out the form and that person's email. And now, again, this is all the same data, it's just in a slightly different format. We're going to be asking for your numbers, and we start with the new families, new and returning families. So go ahead and enter your data, new and returning. We'll keep the numbers simple here so we can have some simple math to do. And the total number of diapers that you distributed over the course of the month. And then, of course, the total number of diapers you have left in storage that you did not distribute, regardless of when you picked those up. How many babies received 25 diapers? We'll say 0. How many received 50? We'll say 45. Now, if you had any babies receiving an amount other than that, you would click here, and then you'd get a box that you can populate with the reason why for that particular month. In this case, we won't do that. But here's a text box where you can share any of the stories or anecdotes from the previous month. And of course, this catch-all box here for any questions or comments. If there's anything you need to let us know about the data you're reporting, this is the place to do it. Next up, this is where you will tell us about your baby pantry distribution. And the way this works is we've got a full list here of most of the items that we have in the baby pantry. And to select it, you simply click on it, it'll highlight. And then go here, click on the right arrow, and it'll put it over in the distributed items that you distributed over the previous month. Same thing for those pantry items that you needed that we did not have enough of in the previous month. So usually wipes, pull-ups. You can also, if you put something over here in error, you can highlight it, use the left arrow, gets it out of the queue as well. All right, next up, I want to show you another really great feature of this new form. you'll probably notice that up here you did not enter the total number of babies and the total number of families. That is because the form automatically calculates that number for you down here at the bottom. This is an important spot to stop and check to make sure your numbers add up. If the total number of new families and returning families and new babies and returning babies are not the total number of babies and families, then you know you need to adjust something up top to make sure that those numbers are your actual numbers. It's a good check to do before you start entering your zip code data. So let's go to zip code data next. You'll see these buttons down on the bottom. Create a new zip code data. Before you can save this form, you actually do have to enter in at least one zip code data entry. So the thing to do is go ahead and click on the zip code entry, and you'll see this pop-up box that has all the information you need to enter a new zip code. I'm going to go ahead and put some dummy data in here for a dummy zip code. And I'll show you what happens after you enter this. We'll say 500 diapers. Hit save, and now you'll see you've got that zip code entry right here at the bottom. But what also happened is that the save button automatically highlighted, and you can now save this report. It'll tell you up here your monthly report was successfully saved, and what that means is you can go back to your original queue and get back into this report. So if you needed to go do something else and stop and come back to it later, you can do that now. You go back to the link that we gave you, you'll see this report in your queue, and you can go right back into it and keep working. But I know we're not done, and I do want to show you another feature here. If I were to try and submit this report right now, I'm going to get an error message that tells me that the total for new and returning babies must equal the zip code totals. What that means is that I did not put all of the zip code data in, and that the number of families being calculated, the number of babies being calculated, the number of diapers are not equaling these totals, and they need to. As you know, every month, if that's not the case, I will send you an email after you submit asking why those numbers don't match up. This form will not let you submit unless those numbers are matching up. So what you do, go back and check the zip code data that you've already entered and make any adjustments. If you have to go back into it, you just click the little link on the side, go back in, make adjustments, or if you actually need to enter new zip code data, you go ahead and create a new zip code record. And we'll do that. Save. And again, you'll do this for each zip code that you have data for, and you'll need to enter them in the first month that you do this. In subsequent months, and I'm going to do another video for this, you will be able to actually clone or copy the zip codes that you've already entered so that you don't have to enter them again each and every time that you fill out a data report. All right, so I've got zip codes in there. I'm going to try and submit again. And it's going to ask me, are you sure you want to submit? You cannot edit this report after you submit it. And that is true. Once you submit, you can no longer get in to edit it. You can get in to see the data, but if you need to make changes at that point, you'll need to contact me and we can go in and change it on the back end. But once you hit submit, you will see in your queue, you will have a report that allows you to go in again at any time, not to change it, but to look at it. And that is how you submit your monthly report. Now, again, as I said, I'm going to have lots and lots of help desk hours over the next 2 weeks. So if you need to walk through this in real time, I am happy to do that with you. Give me a call, shoot me an email. We can schedule a time, or you can just call me during those help desk hours. That's what I'm here for. I am happy to help. And I'm hoping that this, once we get used to this new form, it'll be a lot faster and a lot easier for everybody to get their data in each month. Hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you've got any questions. Thanks.